Well, let's talk about David Bailey, because if you want to be optimistic about something, I think clearly based on all the reports and what we have seen from Bailey so far, there's good reason to be. What are your expectations for Bailey in year one with the Jets? Because it seems like every day he's out there, he's making plays, he's turning people's heads. And I know there's a ton of Jet fans who are super excited to see this guy suit up for the first time in full uniform tomorrow night.
Yeah, but then your guest the other day wasn't a huge fan, right?
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation with my guy Robbie Sabo.
No, I appreciate what Robbie does, but I will also take the 12 sacks. Let me just throw it out there. I'll put me in that group. Um, yeah, I mean, I think the whole complexion of the defense changes if David Bailey is legit number two worthy. Like if this guy is like a problem defensive rookie of the year candidate, that changes everything because now, Will McDonald looks better. The secondary, which is a huge question mark, looks better. As opposed to what if David Bailey is just his first year? That's going to have ripple effects. So you better hope that David Bailey is as good as advertised. And so far, like you said, everyone in camp says this guy is exactly who we thought he was. So my hopes, just from what I'm hearing and seeing, is that David Bailey, I'm not saying he's a 12 sack guy, but give me 7. Give me 7 and give me better than Will McDonald run defense, and I'm happy for year one. It's the premium is on pass rushers in this league. If David Bailey is the next great pass rusher, that immediately changes the way people look at this Jets defense. And maybe they're a top 16 defense as opposed to the 23rd or 24th.
I totally agree. And, you look at where he was picked. I mean, when you take someone that high at that position, you're saying within 2 years, 3 at the most, he's one of the best in the league at what he does. Like that's what David Bailey has to be. But we've also seen guys come in and be impactful right away. I mean, Glenn had Aiden Hutchinson in Detroit. If David Bailey's Aiden Hutchinson in year one, that dramatically changes the expectations for what the Jet defense can be.
Yeah, absolutely. It raises the floor for sure. And I think the Jets' run defense will be better. When Sweat comes back, hopefully he can actually stay healthy all year. Who knows about that? But I do think their run defense will be better. Teams will obviously be aware of Bailey. And we're looking for guys to actually make impact plays, not a pressure, not a near miss. Oh, he almost had him. Like, it's about time the Jets had a guy that sacks the guy, forces the fumble, or actually scoops up the ball and runs it back, or actually, dare I say, tips the ball, bats it away on 3rd and 7. Like, we're looking for guys at the number 2 pick. I'm done with the near misses, the tracking the pressures. Like, give me the sacks, give me a game-changing play. We love Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was a really good player. Count on my hand how many game-changing plays he made, but was a very good player for sure. That's not a Quinnen Williams slander, but like it's about time the Jets had somebody who actually can change a game with a play.
Amen. I think every Jet fan agrees with that. I mean, you look at just the rookies in general. Bailey obviously has popped the most so far. We're dealing with injuries to Kenyon Sadiq and to D'Angelo Pons.
Right.
But there's been some positive reports about Omar Cooper Jr. What do you expect from this rookie class? I mean, obviously, if the Jets are going to be a lot better than most expect, a big part in this has to be these 4 picks in the top 50 playing well. So give us the breakdown on what you expect from these Jet rookies.
Yeah, I mean, I like Sadiq the best because I know Frank Reich loved him and was pounding the table for Sadiq. And once he gets healthy, I feel like Frank Reich is like, I'm going to use you in so many different ways. It's going to be amazing. I think the Jets tight end group in general is probably the best they've had in forever. So
even your guy Jeremy Ruckert made an unbelievable catch yesterday. I saw
he did, and he's probably the best blocker in that group. So I think the Jets have a really good tight end group. Sadiq could be a game changer. Cooper, I'm waiting to see. I personally am never high on rookie receivers making a huge impact. Like every year, I laugh at when I go on X, the projections from fans of I'm thinking he's going to get maybe 73 catches, 800 yards. It never happens that way. Now, maybe because the Jets quarterbacks are you and me by week 9. So that's possible. But everything I hear about Cooper, he was a really professional route runner in college, really good after the catch. And I think that's one thing that, it's been quiet around Cooper so far, but that's because one of the big aspects that he brings to the table is what he does after the catch, which they can't really do right now. So hopefully on Friday, we will see that. But apparently Isaiah Williams is climbing up the board, and maybe he'll challenge Cooper even. Who knows for that third spot? I know I'm also very interested to see about AD Mitchell, because every year Jet fans go crazy gaga for one guy who is going to blow up and be amazing, and it almost never happens. So yes, AD Mitchell has the size and strength, but like maybe it's that Jet fear that I have that you have as well. But like everyone's just like writing in pen, AD Mitchell, he's going to be, the Robin to the Batman, and he's going to be a great number 2. Let me see it. I hope it happens, but I'm not writing it in pen. That's all I'm saying.
The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players: Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to. And check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today. Could you imagine, though, if AD Mitchell actually looks the part of a number 2 receiver? And
Great.
he was part of the Sauce Gardner deal, and it was thought to be basically like a throw-in. That's one of the best trades ever if Sadiq ends up panning out and Mitchell ends up being a real pro for them. And who knows what the other first-round pick this year ends up being. Could be the Jets' franchise quarterback. There's a scenario where the Sauce trade goes down as one of the greatest in the history of the NFL.
Hey, we titled this episode, why we're optimistic. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that could be amazing. The Colts could probably use AD Mitchell right about now, the way they're going, which I'm sure Jet fans are loving that. Yeah, I mean, he's only, I think, maybe is this his third year, AD Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's third year. So it takes guys a little while, and I would love it. I would love it if he caught the ball, every ball, and he extended the field. So hopefully that's the case. And the Jets, I think the Jet receivers and certainly Geno Smith, they seem to love Frank Reich's offense, which is a little bit different than other coordinators, and he lets guys freelance a little bit. But you and I, we've been down this road before. It's all sunshine and rainbows in training camp, right? Everybody looks great. Geno looks great. The receivers are great. This guy's unblockable. And then we watch the game and we're like, well, what happened to that? I remember hearing how Breece Hall is going to be used in the passing game nonstop. It's an unbelievable weapon. It never happened. So, like Bill Parcells says, don't tell me about the pain. Show me the baby. I want to see it. I want to see it. But I'm optimistic that this team will not be embarrassing. And they better not be, or else Aaron Glenn is without a job. And you will be screaming by week 4 okay, let's see the quarterbacks, what coaches are available next year, throw the bag at Tomlin, maybe Sean McDermott comes in. We could see it already, but wouldn't it be better if we actually were talking like playoff scenarios at week 7? Is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, look, to me, if Aaron Glenn wants to save his job, obviously the biggest thing is they got to win a lot more games, but it's how they look. It's how you get to the win total, right? Like if they start awful, no one's going to care if you win some games down the stretch when you're playing backups or teams that are out of it. Like, be competitive, be 4-4 through your first 8. There's winnable games.
Here's my thing. Let's say they beat the Titans, which is certainly doable. Even if can we go, let's say Titans, lose the Lions, lose the Bears, beat the Browns, Titans, Browns, Dolphins, Raiders. If they win those 4, that's 4-4. Even if they lost Packers, Lions, Bears, Patriots. right?
Yep.
Titans, Browns at home. Yeah. Dolphins, Raiders. 4-4. That's not crazy.
You're having the season. And the date of that Raiders game is November 1st. So if they're 4-4, you're going into the holiday season, so to speak, playing relevant football. And maybe by then you win a game you're not supposed to, right? Who knows if Mahomes is healthy, or, you actually win a division game. Salah, for all his warts, he beat the Buffalo Bills 2 years in a row with Zach Wilson as his quarterback. Like, again, Glenn's going to have to win some games that the Jets aren't supposed to win. And I think a big part of this is win week 1, and can you steal one of the next 3 and have that early season signature win to
Right.
say, we're not the same old Jets. Things are going to be different this year. Last year was just an outlier. Glenn learning on the job. He's hired a better staff. We got a professional at quarterback this year, unlike Fields a year ago. And we're going to have a meaningful season. Like that. That's the optimistic spin if you want to find it.
The problem is that week 9, 10, and 11, I was just looking at.
Oh, yeah. That's the gauntlet.
That's a little rough. We don't want to go 4-4 and 4-7. But I got us to 4-4.
That's the 09 Jets right there. 4-4, and then,
Yeah.
4-7.
Although it would be pretty sweet if they were 4-4 with Mahomes coming in. That's pretty sweet. That'd be a good game. I mean, if they go 7-10, if they're 4-4, they end up 7-10. So that's 3-6 the final 9 games. Not great. Is that enough to save Aaron Glenn's job, though?
I think it's borderline. 7, I think, is the borderline number. If he gets to 8, I think he's back. 7, I think it's borderline, because if you're not sure, I think what should work. Look, I'm out Woody Johnson. He's got an affinity clearly for Aaron Glenn. He hired him. He knew him as a scout. We know that was a big emphasis. But to me, Jamie, if I'm not sure about this head coach
Right.
with 7 wins, I'm leaning towards I'm moving on, because I'm going to get a quarterback and I want someone that I trust to oversee the development of that player, either a top offensive coach or whether it be Tomlin or McDermott. Because when will the Jet job be this attractive again with the cap space, the young roster, and most importantly, 3 first-round picks? Like, if I don't know, I got to lean with you're not the guy, not I'm going to keep you around and make the Darnold mistake where you give him Bowles and then you give him Gase as his coaches.
You make a lot of sense. I don't disagree. If you're unsure, 7-10 is certainly an improvement. You're more than doubling your win total, but it can't be the Adam Gase, record where you win 4 of your last 5 and no one cares anymore, and you just buff the record up. I agree. It also depends on who is interested. Maybe they would put feelers out, but would Jet fans love a Sean McDermott to bring in a new quarterback? Would Jet fans love a Mike Tomlin, who Steeler fans couldn't stand, even though they won the division every year because of he didn't know anything about offense? I don't know. Or maybe there's a new college. Who knows? And we're getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, would it be amazing if the Jets were, 8-9, 9-8? I mean, but to your point, if you're not sure, I would probably go towards the side of bringing in someone new with a new shiny toy. But again, if you're 7-10, you're not having a top 5 pick. You're not having a top 10 pick, probably, unless you get the one from the Colts. Then you got to, move around from there. But there's a lot of questions to be answered. It'll all work itself out. That's the thing, though. Like, we're sitting here going back and forth. What about this? What about this? This will all reveal itself. At some point, we'll have the answers. We'll know.
We're going to know pretty early, too, because the schedule, again, is going to tell us a lot about it. This team is able to overcome any sort of early season adversity. Can they win some games they're not supposed to? They start 0-4. It's over for Aaron Glenn.
I would say if they start 0-4, it is close to being over. Now, the bye week isn't until like week 10 or 11.
Week 13 is the latest in Jet history.
Okay, so not an easy landing spot to make a coaching change there. But look, I gave Aaron Glenn credit for making changes, for admitting mistakes and making changes. I'm not writing home saying, oh my God, what an amazing coach he is now. I'm just saying, you know what? Good for him. He fired coaches he made a mistake about, and he changed some things around because he realized he was wrong. I think that's important. Doesn't mean he's going to be a great coach, but I give him credit for that. It is a pretty good landing spot week 1 against Tennessee. I'm sorry. If I'm talking Aaron Glenn on the side, I would be like, listen, you better find a way to win this game. And this team better look freaking really good. I'm not saying win 45-3 like Parcells did in his debut, but win this game and look good doing it, because you're facing a second-year quarterback and a team that had a losing record last year that's not expected to be that good. You better win this game if you think you're worth anything.
The deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.